Hello and welcome back to The Stage Door, presented by Canberra Arts on Rogers TV, shot right here in Corner Brook. This week I'm here with some of the folks from Grenfell's Fine Arts program who are presenting Bertolt Brecht, the Caucasian Chalk Circle. Big show. It's going to be quite an amazing show, but it is certainly a big undertaking this year. It's also one of the first times that everyone in the program is sharing the stage. Which is very exciting that it's, instead of doing two shows this term, it's one show and it's this show. And there wouldn't be room for a second with this one unless maybe a one-person show. That would be the other option, but I don't know who'd do it. So welcome, folks. It's really great to have you at the Stage Door. I'm here with Billie, Sarah, and Autumn. Autumn, we'll start with you. You're back. You're a Stage Door veteran now. Back,
I am.
And becoming attached to this wonderful place that is Corner Brook, it seems. So what was it that drew you back after last year directing at Grenfell for the first time?
That's a really great question.
That's a big one. We're starting with the deep cuts.
Yeah. I mean, I love the collaborators here. I love how we can collaborate together. It's unlike any program or experience I've ever had. Everyone is authentically awesome all the time, and we have each other's backs. And I think that's the thing that draws me back to the program. And the students are incredible. And Corner Brook. I love Corner Brook. So any chance I can get to work here, I will.
Yeah, well, I think that's a wonderful thing to hear, especially for our locals. You know, we often take a lot for granted, and I'm guilty of that too. Being here, that's what you do. Distance can make the heart grow fonder sometimes, and I think it's worth it for many of us when we can to take some time away and then come home and recognize what's there. And having been someone who went through the theater program at Grenfell, it's really great to hear that things are existing in that collaborative way and really continuing. Yeah. And I will say, I'll take a moment here to note that, you know, there have been recent conversations surrounding Memorial University and some proposed budget solutions, one of which involves the Harlow campus, which I will note is very important to the Fine Arts program, both visual arts and theater arts, and is a resource that can be used by a lot of programs. So take a chance to have your opinion heard on that matter, because I know for these folks it's really important. For me, it was one of the most transformative experiences of my life to get to go to that campus and work with some performers on the West End. So take a moment to do some research on that at home and send a letter to the MHA, to the MP. You know, it's we got to rally to keep that resource for students. So that's a little PSA for everybody.
It's needed.
It's important.
It's a good PSA.
To share.
And we're in a time right now where so many universities are shuttering their programs, and theater is crucial to keeping people connected. And not connected in a 2D kind of way, but in a 3D alive kind of way. So I think the more programs that we can keep open and keep going and flourishing and keep theater alive as an entity, it's invaluable to the betterment of humanity.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I think it's something that we all benefit from in some way, whether we're in the audience, whether we're learning it. It is about community, and once you build the community, the rest can happen. But community is the start and the goal. It's both the end and beginning, and I think that's what we all long for. Yeah,
and
like a Caucasian Chalk Circle. It will not be broken.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Hey, we're right there.
Fantastic. And Sarah, I'll move down to you. What was it that brought you to the Grenfell Theatre program?
I always wanted to do theater, all through high school, even growing up. And Grenfell just seemed like the best choice. I mean, it's close to home, has a lot of, I had a drama teacher who went to Grenfell and he spoke nothing but good about it. So it always just seemed like the best option. And then, I'm close to home, close to my sisters who are in St. John's, which is not that close, but close enough that I can visit.
Yeah.
And and I came out here and I just loved it. I loved the city of Corner Brook and everything about it, and I love the program now that I'm here. And yeah, it was a great choice.
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
And what about you, Billie?
And me? What drew me to the program?
Yeah.
Everything. Well, I'm originally from Jackson's Arms, so I mean it's really close to where I grew up, my family, and all that stuff. So a lot of the same stuff Sarah said. As well as I never got to do a whole lot of theater from when I was a kid, and I remember the first time I saw a musical, I was like, oh my God, well, I need to do something like this along the lines of that. And then I saw Little Women on stage for the first time, and I was like, okay, well, I'm doing that. And so when I got older, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to apply for here. And when I got it, I was like, this is just the beginning. And so it was like a dream come true for me, which was really exciting.
Well, that's excellent. And I think it's interesting that right away from you both, we have kind of opposite perspectives. Sarah, you had theater in school. I believe that teacher was Scott Sims.
Yes, Scott Sims.
Again,
Love Scott
from Corner Brook.
Sims.
Scott's a really special fella. And
Everybody
he
knows
is an
everything.
advocate for the program and an advocate for youth in theater. Scott's a pretty exceptional teacher. And so often we hear that story about that educator, that teacher that was like, that's why. Yeah. And that is the power of education and why education needs to be continually supported in all areas. I think the everything is core curriculum because you will get something from everything. So it's foolish to say that this is core and this is not, because for someone, that's the core, and that's what allows them to excel in maths and sciences is because they have an outlet that is theater, or is even, phys ed for some people gives that outlet, and it gives community. So I think it's really important to note that. And then it's important to note that even when the opportunities aren't necessarily there in that community, seeing something can inspire so much. And that's what a message can be for our viewers. Go see a show.
Even if you're playing hockey all the time, you can do what we do.
See the show.
Or baseball, volleyball.
Yeah, I think it's a spectacular thing. The power of being a patron, being a viewer, and being in an education setting is so wonderfully valuable.
Well, and theater technically is a sport.
It is.
It's a sport. It's alive. It's unexpected. It's sometimes participatory. You can get this one's participatory.
This one is participatory.
There you go.
Be warned.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Don't be scared, but be warned.
No.
And I think I just to tangentially remark, I did see some of your particular sporting, Autumn and Sarah, that you actually had some planking during your process.
Yeah.
So what is it that inspires you to bring that into your process for this show? Those type of exercises.
That's wow. That was an unexpected question. We had to bring up sports. For me, theater is a full body engaged process. So if people are in a plank position, their whole body's engaged. So if we're standing, sometimes we slouch but in a plank, you can't do that. You have to like get through the text, and you have to fight. It's about activating the inner fight. It's like banging on the boards, right? Yeah. At a hockey game. It's that kind of like, it gets into that feral, messy place of the text and the character. So we do that. In my master class, we play ball. We play this really ridiculous ball game where we have to keep it in the air. And it teaches people to support one another. If someone drops a ball, what do you do? How do we keep it going amongst us as a community, right? So there's so much interaction between sport and theater and that aliveness. And Brecht actually talks about it in prolifically, actually, about how theater is a sport. So it's nice to tie that back around into the play itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll shift now to talk a little bit about this play. It's a big show.
It's
There's
a
lot
musical.
happening.
It's a musical.
It
You
is
know,
a
there is-
musical.
There's a lot happening, which is a wild thing. And of course, Autumn, you bring a lot of musical theater experience
Yeah.
with you. And I think that as a director, that informs a lot of, there's just so many moving parts compared to
There's a
lot of
lot.
other types of shows. You know, farce and musical theater are the two that are like, we have to look at all
Yeah.
of these things and they have to
now-
happen all at once.
And now we've done it back to back.
Yeah.
And you know, I've directed a lot of musicals. This is bigger than any musical I have ever directed, and it's like there's so many moving pieces to it, because the way the play is structured, there's like just like scene after scene after scene after scene after scene, and it's unrelenting. Like it's unrelenting in its movement. And the whole piece is about journey, right? It's about Gruchy's journey and then Azdak's journey. And look at, we have them both here, which is exciting, right? But this idea of constant movement, and you know, journey as like a larger metaphor for the piece, like as a working class group of people, how do we journey together collectively? So the piece itself is now set during the 1890s, loosely during the Homestead strike in Pennsylvania, but I've tied in like bits of the Triangle Shirt Factory strike and the railroad strike. So these people who keep striving to be seen and valued. It's a bit of it has a lot of Marxism in it, in a way, but like in a good way, right? Like asking those big questions, like who owns the work that is created?
Yeah.
And if it's my hands making it, is it not then mine, right? So this is my third time directing this play, and I really want to come back to the idea of the working class and the struggle, and it's deeply personal for me. This is my familial history. So that idea that we work and we work and we work for what, right? And we've created a character, a young man played by Christopher Bradbury, just with absolute brilliance. And he asks the question at the beginning, when will it be our turn? And I think that resonates throughout the whole piece, for both Gruchy and Azdak's journey, for sure. But the whole thing resonates with, is there justice for a particular class of people? Will they ever rise?
I'm sure you have experienced the changes in society. You know, we have the digital age right now. There's a lot more questions of ownership that I think can be explored. So as you've directed this, the world has changed, which then changes the message a little bit, because people, every audience member will take their own message from their own life from the show. You know, the direction is this. But
100%.
then the audience is a character. They'll take something home, and they'll take something different home. And I think that is the joy of theater. That's the joy of watching something and engaging with something, is you get to take something that is yours after that show. And I think that's a really neat thing, especially
love
with that.
that.
And now we'll shift to you. So Sarah, let's hear a little bit about this character. It's a big role.
Yeah.
It's, there's a lot to do in the show. So how has that been? And a little bit, without giving anything away, a little bit about the character.
Well, just going into the role was, you know, a lot of different things for me. I mean, this is my second year in theater, so my first year doing production. And so I've never had it so there was 2 different plays in one semester. So this is my first time going into it. So this is all I've known so far. And, you know, getting this role is like a big opportunity, and I'm so grateful for it. And I know going into it, I did a lot of my research on it, you know, thinking like, how can I make this me, but also represent the character fully? And, you know, Gruchy is, you know, she's like around the same, I see her as around the same age as I am. And, you know, she's just going into this new part of her life. I mean, everything just happened. I mean, her boss just got killed. Well, that's spoiling.
That's okay.
I think that's it.
That happens at the beginning.
So anyways, she's bestowed with this child, and so she's thrown into motherhood. She has no preparations or anything, and she's still very young. So trying to look at that as a journey and not a problem. It's hard to put in perspective because I've never been there, but it's fun to try and see her as someone who is growing. I mean, we're all growing as people, and so is she, but she's just having different circumstances. So it's fun to work with it, and I enjoy playing with it and getting to know her as a character more, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's obviously at this point you're opening quite soon, so lots of thought has went into these roles. What about you, Billie? What have you kind of taken away from jumping into your role?
Well, I have a few roles, but my main two roles are in the first act, I'm basically just playing my guitar and singing the entire time.
There's nothing just about that, by the way.
No.
Great job.
No.
You are the musical.
I am the musical, which is great because I always wanted to be in a musical.
There you go.
So it's my opportunity to explore that. And so that's what I'm doing, and it's really interesting to explore that aspect of it and play with moods and the tones of songs and changing it from a major to a minor key, and it just changes everything, and it not only changes how it sounds, but it changes the feeling, and it changes what's happening now. And so that's very, very interesting going into it. And then there's Azdak, who I get into in the second act. And Azdak is probably one of I've grown attached to Azdak, I think. He's such a complex character because on the outside he looks foolish, and then you get further into it and it's this guy is carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders and nobody even sees it. And it's very interesting. It's taken me places I didn't even think I could go. So I really do it. I love Azdak like a brother in a weird way.
Amazing. And I think we all know someone who acts the fool, who has the weight of the world. I think that's a character that exists. And I think that's what I love about Brecht is Brecht wrote about the world as he saw it and for the audience to take something from it. That was really his goal as a writer, is not to make the audience emote, but make them think. So there's big emotions in this show, handled in a way that encourages thought instead of oh my God, that poor person. It's oh my gosh, that person has this, which means this. It's a totally different style that I think is emulated in life, but it's very unique and very fun to play as a performer, very fun to handle as a director, I think, too.
Yes.
So,
it's very confrontational.
Yeah.
The audience we're all implicated in the story, from the prologue to the end.
Yeah.
It is, we're implicated in a big way. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and you've had, of course, not only do you have Christopher, who is, I believe, grade 4, you
Grade
also
4.
are getting to work with Michael Waller, who's one of your profs. So what has that been as actors to have both of those presences in the room? It really changes that rehearsal space in a way.
Yeah.
Do you want
It's an open
You go ahead. I'm first.
So I'm in my third year. I have yet to have Michael for any classes.
Oh, wow.
Which is strange because usually the second years get a
Yeah.
chance with Michael at least once. You guys do this
Yeah,
year.
we had him
so-
our first year too.
Yeah. I, however, have little to no experience with Michael apart from my audition for the school and now. And so working with Michael is incredible. he's so he has such a director mindset, but he puts his everything into the show, and it's really beautiful to watch him reclaim his actor status, and it's beautiful watching him be able to tell this story in such a authentic and beautiful way.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put those things. I think it's so important at a theater program that you get to see that. You get to see someone stepping into a role and seeing their different processes. And of course, for the past I want to say 10 years, it's been Alex Follis who has stepped
Yeah.
into roles
Well,
pretty consistently.
mean,
And
we
with
had to
Alex's
switch it up at
departure,
some point.
it's getting switched up a
well,
little, which is
he Irish goodbye'd us. So.
that's it. That's it.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I'm
Poor
sorry.
Alex.
I won't bring it up.
Love you,
but
Alex.
I think it's a wonderful thing about that program to get to work with that and to get to see someone young recognize, whoa,
Yeah.
this is something I could do. Because every one of us here had that moment. That moment of, whoa, I could do this.
Yeah.
yeah, the glimmer of recognition.
Yeah.
And I have to say, as someone who has been in this career path, to have Christopher walk in with eyes wide open, heart even more open to the process, it has reinvigorated my love for theater. Sometimes we get jaded in this, right? Theater is hard work. It's hard work. To remember that state of why we do what we do has been a true gift, and it has been a constant reinforcement of the power of story and how story and theater can affect change, even if it's one person at a time. And we've done that. Like to have a young person come in and stand there with just awe on their face and not wanting to leave the space. It's like, oh yeah, this is it. This is why we're on this path.
And it's also really beautiful to be a part of that, because we all as actors and tech people, when we go in and we have that moment of being like, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do. And whether that's seeing a play, seeing a musical, or like just watching TV and you're like, I'd like to do that but live. You have that like, oh my God moment, and being able to see that moment on Christopher's face, even as just an actor in a university, it like rejuvenated my love for acting, and I was like, God, I get to be a part of this child's, first, like, this could be me, and I was like, it was just beautiful to see.
And the opposite of that, watching Michael re-engage something that he hasn't done in a while is also magical, right? It's way messier, way more chaotic, but just as beautiful, right? Because, as a director, we sometimes forget. We become very myopic and we forget what it's like to be there and be vulnerable and put ourselves out there front-facing, And just a big shout out to him, because it is, and he's doing incredible work as I expected he would. But just the absolute bravery to step into that again after departing from it for a while. It's magic. That too is magical on the opposite side of it.
Excellent. So, when is the show?
Very soon. It starts November 19th and runs the 22nd at the Grenfell Theatre at Memorial University. The show starts at 8 p.m., but I would suggest being there a little bit early because there's action.
Ooh, there we go.
There's action
There's
at the
a lot
box
of action.
office.
Director Insider.
That's the inside scoop right there.
Okay, that's
Wink.
great. So show up early, November 19th to the 22nd. You're not going to want to miss this show. I think it's going to be a real joy to watch. So get those tickets. The Grenfell box office does have information available. Check them out, follow them on social media. You'll be able to get all that information there. And I will say too, also happening at Grenfell is the directed studies are happening in early December. That's something that the fourth year students do. Might feature some of these people, I don't know. But,
I
well,
know.
there we go.
Yeah.
Features a good few of these people. So certainly worth watching some young directors step into that. It's a great community event. I really do recommend checking that out as well. So follow Theatre at Grenfell on social media. Get in touch, reach out. And of course, there's lots of events happening in Corner Brook at the Rotary Arts Centre, Arts and Culture Centre. There is probably something nearly every night from now until the holidays. So go online on the Arts and Culture Centre website or the Rotary Arts Centre website, get some tickets. I'll also say, of course, from us at Canberra Arts, we have a lot of events coming up too. November the 21st is Jennifer Billard with Piano Women, her show, Beautiful Piano Vocal Music. That's in our space at 110 Humber Road. December the 2nd, we're celebrating Katie Anderson's 90th birthday, and she's going to perform at the piano with Adam Luther, a Canadian tenor who's coming home to work with his original teacher, Katie. That's going to be a magical show at the Arts and Culture Centre, so get your tickets for that one in advance. And of course, as we go into December, December 12th, we have our choral concert. That's at Corner Brook United Church. Tickets are available, and there is a pay what you can option for that. And then December 22nd is our big fundraiser for the year, our annual holiday gala. So lots coming up is what I have to say in a nutshell. And that is made in part possible by some of our gold level sponsors, which I'll mention, White and George Accounting and Harbour Financial. And I do want to say, keep an eye on Coleman's Grocery Store. Not only do they have some great performers that they bring in around the holiday and support that with some live music, but in addition, they are one of our supporters, and there may be a pop-up performance there at some point leading up to the holidays. So if you go shopping, don't be surprised if 30 people suddenly burst into song. Maybe you can
Flash mob!
I don't know. I'm not going to say when, but something will happen at some point this holiday season. So thanks so much for coming to the Stage Door. Really appreciate it. And don't miss that show. And of course, one last plug is the Off-Broadway Players have their production of Groundhog Day, which starts tonight and goes till Saturday. So very exciting times all around Corner Brook. It's that time of year when the arts are alive and well, and we are so fortunate to be in this community at Canberra Arts, and we'll see you next week back here at the Stage Door.